You know, as a contractor, I'm sure that if you call the counter or if you call inside sales, it could be two different prices. You know, and
Or the outside sales would be three different prices.
Sure.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is a little bit bigger than day-to-day sales.
You're talking about projects.
I'm talking about what puts buildings together. And
I think are you not seeing much of distributor salespeople, just reps and agents? I mean,
I think
it
it's,
sounds like there needs to be a lot of education in distributor.
and I think you nailed it right there. There's
Could you repeat the question, Mickey, because you're not mic'd, and introduce yourself if you wouldn't mind too. You're Mickey, I know, but.
Mickey Nagy with Derico. I'm just asking why he doesn't see more from distribution sales people? Why is he seeing more reps and agents?
Okay.
And not including them into that loop. I mean, even if you're saying that's a problem, why would you, when you're in the middle of this conversation with the rep, say, hey, you know, we're going to deal with this. Which distributors have these products on the shelf? Who do we need to include in this conversation? Why can't you sort of manage that communication?
That's it does happen, and I want to answer it in two parts. You hit on two different things. First, the education. Even from my perspective, being on the distributor side, we talked about it all the time. We are not educated enough. Distributors don't do a good enough job of training of what it's like to be a contractor. Meaning, the process of the jobs. You got the timing of, say you buy all the underground. If you do that on a buyout package, at the end of that, whatever's left over, have a deal worked out where you take that back. But understanding the flow of construction, and I don't think that that's taught well enough. Everybody can learn about an Earco product. Everybody can learn about a light fixture. They can learn about switch gear. Learning the flow of construction, being able to anticipate problems, is not taught. And as a contractor, we have some onus in it too, because when it's funny because when the distributor guy comes in, hey, you want to go to lunch? We don't talk about, they don't want to talk about anything else. They want to talk about anything but work. And
It's social.
it is social. Agent comes in, hey, I got this great product. You got to see it. You got 5 minutes. That's the agent, and I'm not talking about a lighting rep. I'm talking about agents in general, whether switchgear manufacturer, Earco products. They come in and they come in with a specific agenda, saying, look, this is my product. I'm telling you why it's great. You can get it at this distributor, you can get it at that distributor. I don't know which one you do business with or who you have a good relationship with, but try my product, it'll save you some time. That's the education part. That's the part I wanted to touch on that you had originally mentioned. Now, as far as directing it, from that point, we do that a lot of times. We're like, hey, why aren't you hitting the distributor? Why aren't the distributor, or why don't you join a joint sales call with a distributor and bringing that in? And they're scheduling, you know, a distributor outside salesman is a commission-based salesman. I don't know that's the same for agents. And so that guy's looking for the distributor salesman is looking for every order. It's basically an order taker coming out there. What do you got for me? You want to go to lunch? What do you got for me? You want to go to lunch? And they rely heavily on their support in their office.
And here's your donuts.
And here's your support. By the way, if you need to put that order in, call the inside guy or call my branch manager. You know, and I think 30 years ago, as Joe mentioned, that's where we lost it in the Florida market. Distributors got to the point where they were comfortable letting the lighting agent put together the package for them and say, okay, you got 15 points in it. You want this job? Oh, you can buy out the lamps.
Dude, we're still fighting it. I mean, I can tell you that you're right. It happened some time ago where that's what they were doing, and they were quoting the contractor direct, and that's where our relationships with you have to come into play, and we want to be involved in that conversation, but it's the value added, like you said. The guy saying you're doing the grounding, did you get your bare copper on order yet? It's just going up. You know, there's certain customers that we have that we give updates on all the commodities so they can kind of keep track of what's going on, and we stock certain molds by companies to do, you know, the grounding and things like that, and other products that we know the guy could need real quick. But that partnering, and that's going to be a communication on your project management end at the contractor saying, here's my schedule, this is what I'm going to need, and this is what I'm going to need it. And we all know that doesn't happen. We need it today, we need it tomorrow, we need it yesterday,
Pete, you're like nodding as Mike is talking about this, but you also look like you had a question.
Well, no, it's just, I was just gonna say with distributors, they're at fault, just like you said. I mean, if you're showing up calling on a contractor and you don't bring value, and the rep is, then they're gonna win out all the time.
Well, and I want to come back to you too, Joe, because I mean, you were kind of nodding along on that, and also the rest of you, because if you agree with this or don't agree with this, I mean, this is again a dialogue. It's not just their perspective. It's if you agree or disagree, please share. But you said that when you go to lunch with a distributor, they want to talk about anything except business. Okay, and there's a part of that I get, which is like it's just about the relationship. How are you? The social part of it, the human part of it. But if you do want to talk about business, even if they don't, if you are struggling with something, why wouldn't you use that opportunity to say, it's great to see you, and I do want to catch up, but I got to tell you, I need your help with something. I mean, would they not? Would any distributor, any business person, not just completely respond to that and say, "How can I help you?"
I get what he's saying because, and it's a generation thing. I think product knowledge when I started this industry was very key. Knowing what you're talking about, knowing all the product, like this gentleman was saying, all the reps training everybody on the product. Now I do see the culture quite a bit of what he's talking about of what he got for me. And so that's the problem.
What do you got for me, meaning donuts? Or what?
No, what do you got for me? You got an order for me? You got an order for me? They don't even get involved in negotiations. When I started in this industry, the outside sales guy was very involved in the negotiation
Right. Now
for
it's order
everything.
taking?
Now it's like, call my inside guy. So, I don't know.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of talking. They're not.
Yeah. I mean, yes, sir. And would you mind introduce yourself?
My name is Jay. I come from New York, thanks to Boston First Region. I just wanted to, I don't know if this is pushing on the same base or not, but we were kind of successful in establishing a lot of good relations with our contractor. Mainly due to that, especially in the lighting industry, where all the sales are kind of like a lot of power in doing that time, but a lot of substitute quotation, meaning directly our inside sales lighting team would find substitute, a lot of different substitute items instead of just whatever they spec out, finding cheaper alternatives or spreading the business out.
Sure, VE package.
That helps establish very strong relations with our contractors, so they always rely on us whenever they get
You're giving them solutions.
Yes.
Good point.
To
Sell solutions.
because they know that if you deal directly with just a lighting sales rep, they're going to overcharge you, no matter what. So because they go on point with just whatever the engineers are specing, whatever the designers are specing for that job. So when the contractor comes to us and says, hey, we need this package for this job site, this building, we not only give them that quotation, but we also give them like 2 other quotations if it's a big project and we have good relations. So we go, hey, this is yours, what you want.
Have you thought about
This
this?
is A and this is B.
Giving them options.
Yes.
And then educating them on what the difference is in the options and why they might want to consider that?
Yes, so then that would kind of relate to their boss, their owners and contractors, and they would call us for a meeting. And we would attend and then we would tell them, hey, the same building, same blah, 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 different designs. So, what do you think? And usually, we get very positive feedback due to the fact that we offer them extra service level.
I don't see how you can go wrong with that, but are none of your competitors doing the same?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I've been in this industry less than 2 years.
Okay.
The approach that we take is very service-oriented.
Consultative. I mean, that's how it strikes me, is that you're really not just coming across like, okay, here's what you asked for, but really like taking a consultative approach, which is here's what you asked for, I want you to also consider this, or you should consider this or this, and here's why. And then they can make an informed decision.
That's got value added.
And New York's a very busy market. lot of different competitors.
Right.
And different manufacturers. So like, it's, you need to sometimes take time to kind of go one-on-one with that. Instead of just saying, okay, we're busy, you're busy, so just take these numbers and go. Like, we actually, certain times we need to take time with contractors, and that's what I think is the most strong situation.
Is what he's describing, is that common for you guys? Do you do that or see that, or, and then does it bear fruit? I mean, does it always bear fruit? I don't know how it could.
I know in our market, we find that it's very hard to get the specifier to change what is being specified, especially that late in the game, because usually by the time that comes around, they need to purchase it within a week, because it needs to get a job. So there isn't a lot of time to start educating people on the alternatives.
I saw that from the beginning, but then once you're quoting stuff that's original package that they wanted was 300,000, and the substitute package that you're quoting is 120,000. Owners will definitely take time. We'll push it back a few weeks. Get these,
So that's a significant savings.
Yes.
That's not small.
It's not a small savings. And you can definitely find, if you do research, especially product knowledge is very important in this industry. And there's so many different manufacturers out there these days. They make the same exact spec items, different designs, and everything's listed.
Right.
Like, if you just take some time to put in the research, you can save your customers a lot of money. And that's what they really appreciate. And that's
They'll remember that.
keep coming to you and your business increases.
Now, are you doing the research on your own, or do you have your rep
See, like,
companies helping?
basically, you have to do it. Like, nobody told me to do this in this company. Like, nobody, it's like a know-how that you pick up while you're dealing with these customers, not just, especially like the big guys like Wells Net, and some of the bigger clients, they say, what's the difference between your supplier and then the other guys that we like about you is the fact that you follow up. You follow up and take that extra step. Like, building relations for a guy like me who's only been in this industry for 2 years is very hard with like the top dogs that's been here like 20, 30 years. Every time you meet somebody who's like, hey, I've been in this industry 30 years, 20 years, doing like all these things. I come in here, I'm like, I'm brand new. Like, I don't know anything about electric. I'm just trying to study on my own, 15 hours a day, trying to catch up with you guys. You need to have a point, an edge that you're doing to each other. And the one thing that they appreciate is what they can see, results. And in order to gain those results, you have to